Welcome to the graduation ceremonies information session. This is for specifically for the College of Information Science, our spring 2025 convocation, and then we will also go over the difference between convocation and the main commencement for the University of Arizona. We'll switch to the next slide. All right, so convocation events are celebrations of individual achievement where individual graduating students' names are called, individual slides are displayed, and in-person graduates cross the stage. Convocation ceremonies are hosted by colleges and departments, usually in both December and May, as opposed to the main commencement, which is the university-wide ceremony, and that's organized by the Presidential Events and University Ceremonies Office, held annually in Arizona Stadium every May, and that's in celebration of all graduating Wildcats. This event typically features recognition of high student honors, honorary degrees, and they have a major keynote speaker along with a special finale at the conclusion of the event. Commencement marks the official conferring of degrees, which is the acknowledgement of the completion of all degree requirements. The students from each college will be recognized as a whole, not individually. So when it comes to like our College of Information Science, the dean will get up and say, "Hello, everybody stand up, and I'm presenting my college students." And that's the difference. Our convocation, you walk across the stage individually and your name is called. At commencement, the college as a whole is recognized. So, okay, next one. So our convocation is going to be held on Wednesday, May 14th at 9 a.m. in Centennial Hall. That's on the campus, located on the campus. The main commencement, like I said, is going to be held on Friday, May 16th at 7 p.m. in Arizona Stadium, also located on the campus. At the main commencement, they have plenty of seats, so that's not anything you have to worry about. And we'll get into that.
Yeah, sounds good. And then also one thing that I'll just add, we'll be
Mhm.
sending some follow-up documents to everybody who is attending, which includes frequently asked questions, and answers to those questions, as well as a graduation checklist. I'm also going to send you all a PDF version of this slideshow. So when you see links that are included, you'll have access to that PDF and you'll be able to click on those links through that.
So your convocation participation, all students participating in the College of Information Science convocation ceremony must register. This doesn't matter if you're online or in person. So with the information you provide through registration, recreate the slide that is shown on this slide as part of the ceremony when your name is called. Online students who register will have a slide created and their name will also be called during the ceremony. We actually usually do the online students first before we do the in-person students. So your name will be called, your slide will be shown. And so while we live stream the ceremony, you're going to see that slide on the live stream. So when you register, please include how to say your name on the form. This is very important to make sure your name is said correctly during the ceremony. For example, my name, Jana Phillips, would be written out like this on the slide, the J-A-A, Ja, N-U-H, Na, and then Phillips, P-F-I-L-L-U-P-S, Phillips. It's very important for our name reader to be able to pronounce your name correctly. It makes him feel better if he has the written out pronunciation, because he really wants to get your name correct, and we want to hear that name said correctly. So the college will live stream the convocation ceremony for those unable to attend in person. So even if you can attend and maybe your family can't, they can still watch it live streamed. If you do not register, you may still attend, but you will not have a personalized slide. So if you're here on campus and you don't register and you show up, you're still going to be able to walk across the stage, but there's going to be a generic slide for you. So it won't be a personalized one. Our registration opens March 17th. You're going to go to our convocation page to find that link if you don't get it in an email, but everything you are being sent multiple times, this information. Registration deadline is May 6th. This is a hard deadline, and the reason is because the way the cards are being produced, we have to have all this information in our system so those can be created. We can't just have people registering past that deadline and be able to effectively get those cards produced in time for our ceremony. So we have May 6th as a hard deadline to get your registration in. And it's starting March 17th. That's plenty of time to get that done. You're going to probably want to think about, do you want to include a quote? Do you want to include a photo? Because those are optionals, but that's something that you can do. So graduation attire. Robes or regalia are available to order through the campus store. There are two different robes. One's for undergraduate and one's for graduate students. Robes are ordered based on your height and weight. For graduate students who cannot afford a regalia, the Graduate and Professional Student Council rents regalia for free. And the contact is email is on there. But you have to check for availability. Currently, our college has a limited number of graduate robes for students to borrow on a first-come, first-served basis. Stoles are available to order for colleges, but not for majors or minors. Stoles are optional attire for the ceremony. The color for the College of Information Science is lemon yellow. Our college does not have stoles to lend. That's something that's usually purchased and kept by the student. Hoods are available to order through the campus store. Hoods are required as part of the hooding ceremony for graduate students, both master's and doctoral. Currently, our college has a limited number of graduate hoods, but these are white and not the official lemon yellow. We do not have any hoods that are lemon yellow. We have been graciously, these robes and hoods have been donated to us by alumni. And at the time, we were not a college, and so those are white. But it doesn't matter what color it is. So it's okay. It's just a small strip of white color. It doesn't matter. You're still getting hooded. You're still going through the ceremony. So if you're just need to borrow something, you can borrow that one, but don't worry about the color. Tassels are required as part of the undergraduate portion of the ceremony. Move from right to left when directed, but graduate students do not perform this part of the ceremony. So tassel is optional. The tassel color for the College of Information Science is lemon yellow. In theory, you graduated with an undergraduate degree. That's when you moved your tassel. Now that part of your journey is over. And so that's why you don't have a tassel to move to one side to the other. You're just going through the hooding process. So they are very optional. You are not required to have a tassel. Okay. So you can place your regalia order online through the campus store. If you're going to do that and you want help picking that up, please set the main campus store as the pickup location. You can email your receipt of purchase to Kevin, and there is his email, kevincarton@arizona.edu, by May 1st. This is a hard deadline as well, May 1st. You should know by May 1st if you are going to be attending. So you need to make sure you stick to that deadline. We will not make any exceptions. Mr. Carton will pick up your regalia from the bookstore on your behalf so that you can come directly to the College of Information Science at the Harville Building, room 409, and that's between 2 and 3 p.m. on May 12th and May 13th to pick those up. If these pickup times don't work with your schedule, you can coordinate a time to meet with Kevin before the convocation on May 14th. This information is also going to be included in the Convocation FAQ and graduation checklist documents you will be receiving for having attended this information session. So family and friends are encouraged to attend our Convocation and U of A commencement. We are so happy when family and friends come to see this important time in your life. At this time, there is not a restriction on how many guests may attend, but all guests must have a ticket to enter. You must indicate on the registration form how many tickets you will need. New this year, we're in Centennial Hall, and tickets for Centennial Hall will be electronic. You will be receiving an email with information on how to obtain your electronic tickets after the deadline for registration closes. So it is very important to check your university email for convocation information. Information will not be sent to your personal email. You need to check your university email. This is a new system for convocation tickets, and at this time, we don't have a set date for when that information is going to be sent, but you will receive it in time to know how to pick up your tickets. This is the first time they're doing it, and we're kind of the trial period. So we're learning as well, but we'll try and guide you as best we can. The University of Arizona commencement is held in the Arizona Stadium, like I said, which has plenty of room for guests who wish to attend. Graduates sit on the main field while guests sit in the stadium bleachers. I think I have pictures. Yes, I do. So you'll see on your left a Centennial Hall. This is for the spring convocation. That's the inside and the outside. There are over 2,000 seats in Centennial Hall. So that's what I mean when I said we're not worried about people not having enough tickets. Main commencement in the University of Arizona Stadium. There's like thousands and thousands. I think probably 10,000 people can fit in that stadium. So there's plenty of room there as well. So let's go over our graduation checklist. Make sure you're eligible. Check the requirements that pertain to your degree. And students cannot graduate from the University of Arizona if degree requirements have not been met. Even if they participate in a college convocation or a U of A commencement ceremony, be sure to reach out to your advisor with questions. They're going to be the ones, not me. I cannot answer any of your graduation requirements. You need to go to your advisor. So even if you walk in the ceremony, if you haven't met those in the system, it's not going to show that you've graduated. Get your regalia from the campus store. Regalia and all of the graduation items can be purchased year-round at the campus store. Grad Fest is held twice a year in the fall and spring and makes getting ready for graduation easy and convenient as your one-stop destination for graduation essentials. I will look up that date to see when that is happening. When we made this, I didn't have that date. Register for your graduation ceremonies. Registration for University of Arizona commencement held in May is available mid-March, and graduation eligible students will be emailed a notification. Again, this is why you need to check your university email for convocation and commencement information. Registration for College of Information Science convocation held May 14th from 9 to 11 in Centennial Hall will be available mid-March, March 17th on the convocation website. That's also where you're going to find all your details of anything you need to know. Details for yourself, when you're checking in, your guests. And then receive your diploma. Diplomas are issued 2 to 3 weeks after your degree is posted. But if a hybrid learner, ensure your diploma address in UAccess is correct, so your diploma is delivered to the right address. If you're fully online, your diploma will be shipped to you by Great Learning or UpGrad 1 to 2 months after you graduated. So.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jana. Appreciate that. So yes, as Jana was saying, we want to make sure that you guys are all aware that you do need to update your graduation term in UAccess and make sure that's correct. So yes, on the last slide, she discussed you want to make sure that you are eligible. Okay, so when we talk about making sure that you're eligible, it's really important that you understand you have to complete grad path forms. We have compiled something for you called our graduation checklist, and we're going to be sending that to everybody who's on this call in order to ensure that you're aware of what it is that you need to complete in order to be eligible to graduate. 3 really important things that you need to do are submit your grad path forms. So I'm going to talk about that on the next slide. But before we get to that, if you notice in your student center that your graduation term is not correct, you have 2 different ways that you can update that. You can update that through your plan of study grad path form, which we'll be talking about on the next slide, or you can also email your contact in the graduate college here at the University of Arizona. It's your degree auditor, and her name is Christy Davenport. And all you would do is send her an email and politely request that she updates your graduation term to whatever it is that your graduation term was, be that fall 2024, spring 2025, or summer 2025 if you're on this call. Okay, and as I discussed in the graduation checklist, we will be including information on how to complete the grad path forms. There are 3 different forms that you need to complete. You need to complete your responsible conduct of research form, which at this point, everybody should have already completed. If you haven't completed that, I recommend that you move forward in completing that immediately this week. And I say that because if you want your name and information to be included in the commencement program, the commencement celebration in the Arizona Stadium field that Jana was talking about, you need to submit your plan of study form by March 1st. I think there might be a little bit of wiggle room there. Like I think it was March 3rd or March 4th that was the deadline, but I'm putting March 1st on this slideshow to make sure that everybody is aware that we want to get those submitted as soon as possible to ensure that your name is included in that commencement program. We would feel awful if you attended commencement and your name wasn't included. So please make sure that you submit your responsible conduct of research form because that has to get approved first before you're able to submit your plan of study. And we're already almost to mid-February, so we want to make sure that we're moving swiftly on those. And then the third form that you'll be completing is your Master's Specialist Committee appointment form. As I mentioned, each form needs to get submitted and approved before you can move on to submitting the next form. So the sooner that you get started, the sooner you'll be able to officially be eligible for graduation. You will note that the Master Specialist Completion Confirmation form, which is the fourth form that's listed under your grad path forms, is not the student's responsibility. The program coordinating team will complete that. And as I said, we'll be sending this PDF along with a graduation checklist that has relevant links with instructions on how to complete all of these processes. As it concerns accommodations, we want to make sure that you all are aware that it is the students and graduates' responsibilities to secure accommodations, and the U of A does not provide assistance with that beyond pointing you in the right direction. So the closest hotels to campus are the Marriott Tucson University Park, the Aloft Tucson University, and the Graduate Hotel, which is probably my favorite. Pretty cool vibes there. With the variety of lodging and dining options, the Visit Tucson website is another great resource for finding accommodations. And we just want to remind you that in general, hotels require guests to be at least 18-year-olds. Sometimes that age is a little bit higher, so make sure that you're looking into that before you travel to the U.S. Okay. Since you will be attending a graduation ceremony, the B2 visa, which is for tourism and visiting family and friends, is most appropriate. This visa allows you to enter the U.S. for short-term stays, including attending events like graduation. Please note the University of Arizona plays no influence in the visa appointment wait times reflected on the U.S. Department of State website. Okay. So you're going to need to take the initiative to get on the Department of State website and to schedule an appointment. The documents that you need to take to your appointment include your passport. You'll want to make sure that your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your planned stay in the U.S. Another form is your DS-160 form. This is the official visa application form for the B2 visa. So you'll complete that online non-immigrant visa application on the website of the U.S. State Department. You'll have to pay the non-refundable visa application fee, and you'll keep that receipt and take that with you to the appointment. Upon scheduling the visa appointment, you'll also want to make sure that you print off that confirmation and take that with you to the appointment. We recommend taking a graduation invitation to college, which confirms your upcoming graduation and serves as an invitation to attend. It's telling me my internet connection is unstable, so I apologize if you can't hear me at all. Make sure that you mention something in the chat if for some reason you can't hear me. But getting back to what I was saying, if you are a fully online student, you can request a letter from the college which confirms your upcoming graduation. That link is included in the invitation you received to attend this event and is also included in the handouts we'll be sending following this event. If you are a hybrid student currently finishing your program fully online and you want a letter for your family as they try to obtain a visa, you also can submit that request for a letter from the college. However, if you're a hybrid student who is finishing your program on campus, because we did invite global students on campus to this information session as well, and you want a letter for your family to obtain their visa, please note that that is something that the college will not be providing. However, International Student Services will provide you with that letter. So if you're a main student or main campus global student, and that's where you're finishing your program, then you can reach out to ISS, International Student Services, and they can provide you with a letter for your family to take to their visa appointments. Additionally, beyond all of these documents, we encourage you to bring financial proof to show that you can support yourself during your stay in the US, as well as be prepared to provide evidence that demonstrates ties to your home country. In other words, that demonstrates your intention to return home after the ceremony. I would argue that that's the most important uh, piece of information that the consular officers are going to be looking for as they assess whether or not to approve your visa. So make sure that you have ties to your home country, either through employment records, maybe you have a mortgage that you're paying for, maybe you have a lease and you're renting right now. Any of those documents are going to prove to the consular officer that you have responsibilities that you need to come back to India or your home country, wherever it is that you're located. Many students want to know their options for obtaining a visa when wait times are too long and appointment slots are competitive. While the U of A cannot do anything to change the wait time, we do recommend looking into whether you can schedule an emergency visa appointment through an expedited request. Many U.S. embassies and consulate offices offer an expedited visa appointment for urgent situations, including attending a once-in-a-lifetime event like graduation. You can check the specific embassy or consulate website in your home country to see if you qualify for this expedited appointment. If you do, you need to be prepared to justify this request by having documentation such as that invitation letter that we were talking about, and proof of your upcoming graduation details, which you can also find on our website. Another option is to check availability in other consulates or embassies. Some U.S. embassies and consulates may have shorter wait times than others. If possible, you can check other embassies and consulates in your home country or even neighboring countries where you might be able to apply. If your country's wait time is too long, you can consider going to another country where you can legally travel, especially if you're on the border, like Tucson, for example. If the consulate or embassy had really long wait lines here in Tucson, and there was another U.S. embassy or consulate over the border in Mexico that had shorter wait lines, I could travel over to that embassy or consulate in order to schedule this visa appointment. And the same goes for you wherever you are. If you're on the border of a country and it's easy to get to another country's consulate office that has a shorter wait time, you're encouraged to check out that pathway. We also encourage you to regularly check the U.S. Department of State website as they will periodically update visa processing times and policies. So keep an eye on any changes that might reduce the wait time or allow for additional expedited options. And if all else fails, you may need to face the reality that you need to explore non-visa alternatives, such as attending the convocation online. As Jana mentioned, students who register to participate online will be asked to submit a photo, which will be used when their name is called during the ceremony. A link on the college's website the day of the convocation, will be available so that students celebrating remotely from home can gather with their family and friends to tune in. If it becomes clear that attending the May convocation is not possible due to visa delays, you may also consider planning for a future trip to the US to celebrate your graduation in another meaningful way, such as attending future homecoming celebrations, alumni events, or planning a visit to the U of A when the visa is more attainable. Since you have already graduated or will have already graduated, at least most of you, your status will no longer be that of a student. If you're a summer 2025 graduate, you can honestly and truthfully say that your status is still a student. But if you've already graduated, in the present work, education, training information section, you need to select the option that best reflects your current situation after graduating. If you are working, select the field that best aligns with your current job or profession, such as research, computer science, data science, or any other relevant field. If you are unemployed but seeking work, It is strongly encouraged that you answer accurately by selecting not employed. Being unemployed at the time of visa application does not automatically compromise your ability to obtain a visa, but it may raise additional scrutiny regarding your ties to your home country and financial stability during your stay in the U.S. Factors to consider when approaching this situation include demonstrating ties to your home country, as we discussed, demonstrating financial stability, and remaining fully honest. Officers assess whether you have strong ties to your home country, which indicate your intent to return. And then other evidence that you can have would be ensuring that, as we had mentioned, employment records, uh, rent, and mortgage documentation. And then finally, again, please make sure that you're being honest, completely honest on your application, as if there's any evidence that you're not being honest, that's a very easy way for officers to decide to not approve the visa request. As it concerns your U.S. point of contact for your visa application, please know that you can list all of my details, which are provided here and will be provided in the follow-up information that we'll be sending upon concluding this session. The U.S. government does not specify a set amount of money you need to show for a B2 visa, but you need to demonstrate that you have sufficient funds to cover the following: round-trip airfare, accommodation, daily living expenses such as meals and transportation, and then other incidental expenses such as sightseeing or shopping. It's generally advised to show access to funds that would reasonably cover your stay for 1 to 2 weeks, ranging from $2,000 to $5,000 USD. You can provide evidence of funding through bank statements or credit card limits. As it concerns health insurance, while it is not a visa requirement, it is strongly recommended to have travel health insurance during your stay in the US, as healthcare can be very expensive. If you fall ill or you have an accident without health insurance, you could face significant medical bills. Having travel insurance can help protect from unexpected costs. Many students are interested in meeting with faculty during their time in Tucson, and we do want to confirm that there will be a reception immediately following the convocation in which all College of Information Science faculty are encouraged to attend and mingle with students. This is also a great opportunity to meet other graduates who studied in your classes and departmental staff you may have interacted with during your time as a student. There will not be airport pickup or accommodation support as we discussed earlier, so you want to make sure that you're planning ahead for your arrival. And as it concerns diplomas, just as Janice said, they're going to be mailed after you've graduated. For those of you who are on campus hybrids who are graduating again on main campus, you need to make sure your diploma address listed in your U-Access Student Center is accurate, because your diploma will be sent directly to that address. And if you're studying fully online through Great Learning or UpGrad, your diploma will be sent to Great Learning or UpGrad for distribution. And then we just want to send or remind you guys one more time that the registration opens on March 17th with the May 6th deadline. That's going to be available through the College of Information Sciences website, as well as through the documents that we'll be sending upon concluding this event.